Justin, this is a solo show for September 7th. I'm finally back, or attempting to be. Okay. So, continuing to follow the 2024 theme of Be Potential, we come to an I word in September. The I is innovative or intelligent. So let me tell you what innovative means, or to innovate means to introduce something new, make changes in anything established, to alter, renew, to create, devise, originate, pioneer, refine, initiate, innovate. So it's fascinating to me with what's going on in the world. That always fascinates me, even though I don't really listen to the news because the cacophony of chaos out there overwhelms me as an empath and a light leader. And I encourage my students and light leaders and clients not to listen to the news, because the energy, the frequency vibration isn't lifting us up, doesn't lift us up. It lowers the frequency, because what's on the news wants to lower. I don't know if it has a choice about it. It just does lower the frequency that we as light leaders, as people that are aligned with the high frequency of love, and therefore joy and peace and all that, can be disabled by those lower frequencies. And it's been very intense lately. I don't know about for you guys, but for me, with the cycles of the moon, their solar flares. I didn't even know what a solar flare was, and boy, it sends off energy, radioactive energy that really discombobulates. But what it's doing, I'm just talking about my experience, you guys. What it's doing is introducing something new. It is altering, refining, initiating our physical energy system so that we can operate on a higher level, on a 5D level, a 5-dimensional level, right? And therefore we can hear more. So a lot of people are having their clairs opening up, another place of changing anything that's been established as you open up to your inner intuition, right? And your inner ability to hear beyond what is actually physically causing your little eardrums to vibrate and those little hairs to go zzz, to hear within. Those clairs, or to see, or to smell, those clairs are becoming more prominent as we continue to align to a higher frequency and to what I call is source energy. Source energy. So innovative. So I want to ask you guys some questions. I have been doing and yet again, another deep dive into where I'm holding resistance to this new experience, to this innovation or initiation, if you will. Where am I holding resistance in my body physically? And today I was meditating on that, and I heard in your knees. And I have been having a knee problem on my left side, my left knee, so I was like, okay, so I'm asking the pain in my left knee, what is this about? And again, I heard very clearly, you guys should try this. I heard very clearly, it's about blocking. You have been blocking the flow of the divine feminine within your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. Well, who knew? Who knew? I didn't know that until I finally asked my knee, the pain in my knee. What is this in relationship to? Is this something am I resisting something? Which of course I have been over the last few weeks. and that's a story for another day. But in recognizing that I have been tuned up over the last year, especially the last month or two, into a higher frequency, a higher vibration, then the resistance to continuing in that shift, right? In that change, alteration, renewal that has been going on within my mind and my body. In resisting it, then I'm not moving forward. I'm not going into the new. I'm not flowing, or I have been maybe resisting or holding myself back from the truth of my being, from being fully who I am. Now, anybody else got that going on? Are you being asked from within, from your spirit guides or the voices you listen to or your gut reaction to things? Are you being asked to innovate, to create something new within your life, or create a new way of managing your life? Maybe managing the problems you carry around, the burdens, the responsibilities. I have a client who's just so amazingly stellar, and she said she's just feeling over responsible. She's feeling responsible for everything. And during the course of, I don't know, a week, maybe a month, okay, maybe a little bit more, she recognized that the way she holds responsibility or deals with responsibility was slowly killing her. Anybody else got that going on? I know I do. So what she figured out is she has to do responsibility, being responsible, in a whole new way. So she's innovating how she handles responsibility. Consequently, other people are shifting around her. People are stepping up to the plate, of course, and they are also noticing that she is calmer. She's noticing she's not flying off the handle because she feels responsible for something. She just lets it flow. She just goes with it. She just doesn't worry about it anymore. I kind of want to be like that at times. But so this idea of innovation, of creating something new, is we're all being called to do this on the planet right now, you guys. It's not just me or you because you're listening. We are all being called to recreate or create anew, to innovate, initiate. I like that word too. How we're going to live our lives from this point forward. And I encourage everyone, myself included, because I always do the work, I always do the friggin' work, to listen to your intuition, that divine wisdom within your heart that is leading you on your path. And once you remove what you're resisting, like in my case, the flow of the divine feminine energies into my thinking, into my actions, into my heart, then once you release that resistance, then there is such a beautiful, beautiful opportunity to become your potential, to be your potential. And that's what I've been calling everybody to do in 2024. And consequently, again, I just got to say, when I say, let's do this, I got to do it too. I just don't tell everybody, you go do it, and I'll just sit here and eat a bonbon. That doesn't work. Plus, I'm diabetic, so hey. So anyway, introduce something new. So I got chills, you guys, because I'm going to share something with you. I love how, I have to grab this, how, of course, I say this all the time, how the universe works. I have, for the last several years, been working with Alana Fairchild's Sacred Rebel cards. They're oracle cards. Here's the front of what it looks like. Alana Fairchild will have that in the show notes. And so if you don't know anything about oracle cards, this could be a really good one to start with. It's a very powerful kick your ass one in your face. So I say, go for it. Go for it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If you want to grow, change, innovate your life, become new, then this would be a great oracle deck for you to have. So in working with my different groups this week, I pulled one of the oracle cards, and it was this one. I'll show you. The artwork in these cards is absolutely exquisite. This is called the shock of the new, the shock of the new. Now notice her heart, throat, third eye, and actually, if you look at it even closer, the crown chakra, they're all in geometric patterns of opening, being open to the new. So the shock of the new, this card is about surrendering any fear of being seen as unusual, eccentric, bizarre. And I have been holding that as part of my burden. I have always, all my life, wanted to fit in. Anybody else have that going on? Wanting to fit in, wanting to be like everybody else so that you don't stand out. So I was always that way. And in actually following my intuition about becoming more of my potential, being my potential, I can't hide anymore. I don't hide anymore. I have always kind of been straight up telling you truth to your face, which some people don't care for, but that's who I am. I am a light leader. I am a truth speaker and seeker. And in order to move into this new experience of operating in a 5-dimensional vibration while we're still on a 3D planet right now, you have to be innovative. You have to come up with ways, coping mechanisms, right? You have to think about, expand your thinking out of the box about what is going on. If I had several people say, oh, I'm just not feeling up to it. I'm so exhausted all the time. So then I start listing the ascension symptoms, which I went through very intensely, which is exhaustion and feeling dizzy and confused and not being able to concentrate, eating your comfort food or not eating at all, sleeping all the time, that kind of stuff. Those you can look it up on the web. There's several people that are teaching ascension classes, and they have great videos on what those symptoms are. And a majority of people are feeling them because we're all being tuned up. Now, as you're being tuned up vibrationally, you've got to remember to tune into yourself, check in with you. Not all your friends, although it's helpful to be in a group, like I said, fit in. It's kind of helpful to say, oh yeah, you're feeling it too. Okay, I'm not nuts. But checking in with yourself is the primary place of solutions and wisdom and all of that. And that's because we are that divine light. I talk about it all the time. We are the divine spark. So pulling the shock of the new, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but I'm gonna read to you out of the Oracle book what Alana Fairchild says. Something new will break through, and the process of this birth may be a shock to you. The shock will transform into great joy and a sense of tremendous liberation, but you must bear the strangeness first. That strangeness may be something that rattles your beliefs about yourself and your world, daring you to become more of yourself, more open to where life is leading you, and more willing to be the unique, sacred art being crafted by the hand of the universal creator. So that speaks to being unusual, being innovative, being eccentric, having your clairs open up suddenly, and how do I deal with that, and trying to find somebody that assists you in that. So it also means the shock of the new. Okay, first of all, I want to backtrack. I love that this time is bringing forward tremendous liberation. Now, if you look out in the world, if you look at what's happening in the political arena in America, there was a shock, right? There was a shock of the new. And everybody's handling, okay, straight up, I'm talking about when Biden stepped aside and Kamala Harris stepped up. That's shock of the new, everybody. And happening in a time frame that has never happened before, where there is a short time frame before the election. And so it's making everybody across the aisles, everybody in every state or whatever, a little wonky. And it's liberating. It's liberating. And so what we are beginning to see is the introducing of something new that changes in something that's been established, right? Innovation, innovation, innovation. Did I say that enough? Innovation. So pulling this card before I was going to do the, during this week, was absolutely divine right timing. Perfect. So Alana Fairchild goes on to say, you are being asked to surrender any fear. Everybody, doesn't matter who you think you're going to vote for. You are being asked to surrender any fear, because the fear is what has been blocking us, our flow. So what do I mean by flow? Our flowing into our potential of really fulfilling our life purpose, our purpose as a country. Yeah. So you're being asked to surrender any fear you may have of being seen as unusual, eccentric, or bizarre. You're being asked to make peace with strange beauty and to let it happen through you in creative flow. So the strange beauty she's referencing, she talks about how in nature, when there are new plants, animals, new modalities that are being birthed that we maybe didn't know about, haven't seen, a lot of stuff is showing up now. We see it as strange because it's not our normal. It's not our usual. It's the unusual. So dropping any fear about the unusual. We live in unusual times, you guys, and they're going to continue to be unusual. And that's exciting. That's liberating. So she goes on to say, be on the lookout for the big shift of the new birth. The shock of the new, the unconventional, the strangely beautiful, and the disturbing liberation of that which is foreign stepping into your life. This is life creating the stage upon which you will experience greater fulfillment. So again, staying with what's established, the old ways, and she even says in here, the old way is on its way out and you're being invited, dragged, nurtured, and coerced into the new, and you can handle it. So staying in that established experience that you've been living your life from. And my dad's 91 almost. And he likes everything's just so now, the excitement of going out and exploring something or going to a new restaurant even is challenging for him. He wants everything just the way it's always been for him. And his life becomes smaller and smaller and smaller because he's not being innovative. He's not looking at what small changes. It doesn't have to be a big honking change, just a small change. It could even be that you just clean out your closet and give all those clothes away or trophies or whatever you got hiding in a closet somewhere. Just that is enough change to allow the new to flow in, the creative source energy to flow in through you. And I recognize that so many people are experiencing horrible challenges right now. I recognize that. There is so much going on in an individual human's life that is frightening, scary, have to go through. You have to go through it, right? I've been doing prayer work for several of my colleagues who there must have been 7 people that had knee surgery or hip replacement surgery. And they all, not all of them, but a lot of them waited until the pain was more than the idea of a new knee or a new hip or going through rehab. And that's happening to a lot of people. And, that's kind of that's one way of wanting to stay in the past, not wanting to do something new and innovative. But it's time to dispense with our reliance on the past. It's time to dispense with our reliance on the past, because there's also a belief floating in the world that's been around for centuries, that, well, if it happened before, it's going to happen again. Well, we've always done it this way. Why should we do it differently? Well, if that person makes that choice, then it's going to make me have to change, and I don't want to. Except that source energy is creative all the time. Spirit is dynamic all the time. It is in constant motion. It is finding constant ways to express through us and by means of us. And in this reading, she talked about becoming that creative art being, that source, that energy the universe pours through to create your life. And something we all forget about is that we are the creators of our own life, right? We are the creators of our own life. So something that came in to my meditation a few days ago that's become my affirmation is that I am my own authority. I am free from the past. I am free from other people telling me what to do. I am my own authority. Try that on for size. Say it to yourself. I am, good, my own authority. And then say it again with feeling. I am my own authority. I have control over my body, my life, my health, my happiness. I am my own authority. Now, if you haven't felt like you've been your own authority, if you've been always asking other people what they think and then making your choices from other people's opinions, this happens to be part of reading the news and thinking that all of that is real. It's people's opinions, mostly. Then you're not being innovative. You're not creating something new. You're not changing anything. So, we have outgrown our old methods of coping, of behaving, of interacting with others. We've outgrown it. And if you take a look at the way it's been up until now, has that really been working? Has war and violation and annihilation and guns on the street and people calling people names and taking freedom choices away from people, human rights away from people, is that really working? Is it really working? It's creating such havoc on the human psyche, and I would say the human spirit, that it's time to innovate. It is time to initiate a new course of action, everybody. And that means becoming a pioneer of a new way of being in this world, a new way of interacting with each other, a new way of how we run governments, how we run organizations, how we teach our children a new way, a kind of unusual, evocative new way that allows individuals to be their own authority. Now, the thing about this is it's important to listen, listening to your higher self that resides within your heart, not listening to those other people out there that are trying to either rev you up or push you away or tell you you're broken or wrong or whatever the story is, right? Listening within yourself. And then you can devise a new pattern for yourself. You can create a new path on your journey to being potential, being your own potential. There is nobody else who's going to fulfill the potential that you are. There is nobody else. Your potential is here for you specifically to fulfill, to be. So I encourage everybody to think about how you want to be innovative in your life. What is it you want to initiate that's new? What is it that might feel really shockingly uncomfortable? And what is it that you're willing to release your resistance to, so that the divine feminine that's flowing through all of us right now can actually do the work it's here to do without causing so much pain and chaos and stress for everybody? Part of that means you got to love. You got to love, love, love. You got to love yourself more and more. And that means as you love yourself more and you look outside of yourself, you got to love the one you think you don't love. Yeah, that's a shocker, right? New, shock of the new. But in loving that way, you're going to have tremendous opportunity for more freedom to express yourself than you ever have. More creativity, more happiness, more health. Hey, more health, more opportunities to experience the truth of your being, the full Megillah, the full potential that you are. So I'm just telling you all this because I am choosing to move with the shock of the new in my life, my personal life, and moving from resisting something I was supposed to really, really, really do years ago. And I'm finally doing it. I'm going on an insulin pump after 30 years of being diabetic and managing it myself. Talk about responsibility, right? Way too much, way too much. So this is my new personal innovation. And I got to say, it's an initiation too. Yeah, because it's learning something new that is going to alter how I live my life. But I will be healthier, happier, and have more freedom than ever before. So where is it that you could innovate? Where in your life could you shift, change, grow? Just a good question to always ask all the time. In fact, every morning before you do your spiritual practice, ask yourself, where can I innovate in my life personally, within yourself? And then see what happens. So can't wait to see. Y'all let me know. In the meantime, I'm just going to end with, and so it is, namaste.